Today we're flying high over Vallejo, California. That's right, this is a disclosed location. And the reason I'm here flying over this riverboat. That's right, another casualty of the homeless. As a matter of fact, if you look real hard, there's a couple homeless people sitting on the rocks right there. One man standing up and the other one standing on the rocks, right on the left side there. But that's not what we're looking at. We're looking at this casualty of the homeless. This beautiful riverboat. I would call it an antique myself. But a couple of weeks ago, the homeless were living on here and they set it on fire. Is that unusual or usual? Well, I thought I would come over here before they started to tear it apart. Or I don't know how you give a boat like this a proper burial. Because it was alive at one time and now it's halfway in the water, dead. So you can see where the fire was just raging right out of the side there, where all the paint is burnt off. Oh, there's those homeless people right there on the rocks. I did not see them when I was filming. And good thing I didn't, because I didn't want to pay too much attention to them. And good thing they weren't paying attention to me. They could have definitely threw a rock and took this drone out. Well, here is the name of that beautiful riverboat. It's called the Grand Armance Riverboat. And I'm sure there might have been a O there at one time. The Grand Romance Riverboat? I don't know. But today, the Grand Romance Riverboat is burnt up, and you can see it's submerged in the water. So the pontoons are gone. So now, what do they do with it now? I don't know. But I know it won't last here long, because people that are concerned for the bay will say, hey, this is a toxic mess. It is just sad to see history like this being destroyed by people that have no business on this boat. I'm sure there was an owner of this boat that had to pay insurance and keep it up, but now hopefully he had insurance, because look at there, you can see the whole bottom half is submerged in the water. You see that? The whole bottom half is sunk. Good thing it's a shallow bay, or it would be all the way down in the water. So there it is, leaning off to one side. I think that's called Romance Riverboat. I don't know. Look at all the trash that was left on the deck of the boat. So they had been living there for a while. And there's their little ladder that they got on with. So they scaled that ladder and they were on the boat. There's that trash, and the old dock house that used to drive the boat around is out of commission. It looks like they set up a chair right there, that striped chair. So they had a nice lounge chair there. And look at all the trash. The old riverboat will never float again, sad to say. Kind of like our life I guess the riverboat has a lifespan too. Well, right next to the riverboat was this junkyard, a floating junkyard. I think this is where they find stuff in the bay and they just bring it here. I don't know. I hope they're far enough away from the shore that the homeless don't get on these boats. But I'm always amazed how they even float with all this stuff on them. So that looks like all junk to me. Well, here is the culprits. I'm sure these people that live on this street, Durr Street, Derr, in Vallejo, California, well, I'm sure they watched this riverboat burn with a front row seat. And I'm sure they know who even set the fire. Because that's what happens when homeless get in arguments. They have burnouts. I've mentioned it before, and it's been confirmed by other homeless people that when they get in a fight or they can't pay their rent on their RV, the landlord will burn them out. So that's why you see homeless camps burned out, because that's how they settle disputes. I'm glad that we do not settle our disputes that way. But here they are, just going about them lives. Some have RVs, some barely have tents. And in that group of trees there's a whole group of people that's made their trees their home there. They've actually got construction material. There's some guy waking up, getting dressed in the morning. So he's probably just finished brushing his teeth and getting about his day. So yeah, there's a lot of problem with homelessness all over the state and the United States. And a lot of them live on these boats, believe it or not. So I could be looking at someone's home. You never know. But I know that this does not look like someone's home unless they are a junk hoarder, because that's all that's on these. Looks like one barge and two boats. So that could be someone's house. Especially if there's outboard motors on that boat, because the pirates have been stealing outboard motors. So a lot of junk and two boats, which could be somebody's home. You never know if that is junk or somebody's property. Someone's trash is another man's treasure. You've heard that, more than once. So if you ever want to see where I'm at here at this disclosed location, I'm sure that riverboat is on Google Maps. Just look in the mouth of the bay, right here at the base of Vallejo. And look for the Grand RM Riverboat. I'm sure it was a gambling boat at one time. It'd take people out and gamble. I don't know. A lot of things you can do on the open ocean that you can't do anymore. But before I leave this boat, I thought I'd get you real close and personal with the fire that was pouring out of the engine room and pouring out of the middle dock. Look how hot it was to just burn the paint right off of the steel. I can't believe how much destruction of other people's property is just okay nowadays. People just walking into stores and stealing stuff. Matter of fact, it's just getting ridiculous. But that's society we live in. And that's the society that we have to live in. So we just do our best. It's kind of baffling to live in the fall of civilization. And that's what's happening. We are definitely falling as a society. Well, there's the old beautiful boat on its watery grave, surrounded by spectators that sit around and watch it sink. And there's the beautiful city of Vallejo, California. And right at the base of this beautiful city is this awesome old historical site that used to produce mattresses, believe it or not. Can you believe a factory that big? I don't know. It seems like something else was produced there. But one of these buildings produced mattresses. And right behind this beautiful building is this beautiful abandoned building that talk about sinking into the ground. You're getting a 2-for-1 here. This house is falling apart as we speak. It's rotting away with no one living in it. Can you believe that? The real estate prices in the Bay, how much is that thing worth? Just sitting there with all the acreage all the way around it. That's a crown jewel, if I say so myself. Well, there you go. The Mouth of Vallejo. That's right. That's the San Francisco Bay with the beautiful historical plant on it, which could be a mattress making plant at one time. But there is the Mouth of Vallejo. So I'll end this video here with giving you a big thank you. Thank you for coming along with me on these riverboat adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody.